Vanakkam, Namaste, Swagatam. Likes and dislikes, bulls and crocodiles, right? Now we have completed that and we have entered into the second level. In this, we are going to see the three unique likes and dislikes. Yes, these are also at the end of the day likes and dislikes, but we are going to see the different intensity or the execution part of likes and dislikes based on intensity and direction. Other than likes and dislikes, we have nothing in our life. All our life is filled with likes and dislikes. But keeping the likes and dislikes as a fundamental aspect of our life, here we are going to see the different implications of likes and dislikes in different walks of life. Habits, hobbies, addictions. All these three, though they are from our likes and dislike perspective, the intensity and direction is completely different. That is what we are going to see in this video. Three dimensions are involved here when we split an action into hobby or habit or addiction. One is time frame. Are you going to do that action regularly or occasionally? Time. Second one is your control over it. Is it controllable or it is not controllable? And the third dimension, we will discuss in detail in the future, the impact factor. Is it going to give you a healthy impact or it is going to get you into a trap? So the impact factor. So time, intensity, the control, and the third one is impact. These are the three dimensions of habit, hobbies, and addiction. A regular controllable action, a regular uncontrollable action, and occasionally but controllable action. All the three have the same principles of likes and dislikes. That is, it is forced from outside, superimposed, or it is self-imposed. You yourself created it or somebody injected in you. This is just an example. Don't get to the detail. Just watch it. Hobby, reading a book, generally the elders force you to read, and then you get into the skill of reading. Whereas playing an instrument or having a fun-filled hobby comes naturally. Or habit, getting up early in the morning doesn't happen naturally. Everyone tends to, sleep early in the morning. But when someone enforces you, then you will get up in the morning. So it is forced habit. Whereas you got sugar and you need to walk and you understand the situation of your health and you yourself start getting up and walking every day, half a kilometer or two. Now, this is also an habit, but this habit is self-imposed. Because of peer pressure, you are forced to get into an addiction or you voluntarily get involved in one or the addiction. So either way, all the habits, addictions, and hobbies are of two types. Now let us understand hobbies first. Why hobby first? Because hobby is not regular. Hobbies are irregular. Occasionally happens. When you get free time, when you get friends, when you get mood, only then you enter into all these things. Now, what is that to do with me or with my life or with my family? This plays a vital role. Why? Because there are people, those who think that after marriage, I couldn't spend time for my hobbies. Therefore, marriage sucks. People say this. Or in other words, people force their partners also to, be a part of their hobby. It can be a video game or it can be watching a boring sports, maybe for your partner at least. So when we force our partner to, get involved in our hobby, then also we get into trouble. And also we need to understand what role our hobbies play in our life. So it is better to understand hobbies. Yes, definitely hobbies are fun and entertainment, but it is just fun and entertainment. It is not profession. It is not passion. Hobbies have their own role to play, and it just stay there. It can't step ahead of it. So it is definitely beautiful and it is enjoyable, but you can't take it further and superimpose so much of glory to it and make it a big deal. If your hobby is to sing or listen to a music or play a game or watch a game, and if your life partner doesn't do any of these things, the world is not going to end. It is just an hobby. We need to have this clarity. If I don't have that interest, then how can you force me? How can you expect me also to have the same hobby? Right? It's a basic, simple question. Imagine a singer gets married, and on his first night, he realizes that his wife doesn't understand his singing, doesn't love or value his singing. Does that mean the life is doomed for that singer? No, yeah. The whole world who loves and understands his music are going to praise him, are going to recognize him, give the attention. Why should he want to demand attention and praising even from his partner? Right? And if he's a real musician and if he really loves, then I'm sure he can make his partner also to fall in love with his music. But that's a different story. But that doesn't make a rule that your hobby should also be your partner's hobby. Got it? Second dimension is this: if your partner hates your hobby, if your partner thinks your hobby is shallow or stupid or out of my limit, it's okay, right? By forcing your hobby into your partner, many a times people don't see the huge long-term impact which happens to their life. I don't want to scare you, but please do understand, there can be a moment where you can find a mutual hobby or create a hobby where where both of you can participate and have fun. But don't expect your partner to be the one who needs to learn your hobby. If you demand that your partner should learn your hobby, that means you also have the equal right or duty to love your partner's hobbies too, right? Think on this perspective and understand the first line, that is, it is just for fun. Don't take it more seriously. So if your hobbies are not matching with your partner, don't worry, you are lucky, so that you can have many more hobbies now. So let's get into habits. We are not talking here about the habits which normally people say as brushing your teeth, getting up in the morning, not those kinds of habits. Here what we say as habit is something which is uniquely done by you in your daily life as your own unique behavior. Let's say switching on the light and sleeping. There are few people those who can't sleep in pitch dark, right? Or there can be few people those who drink hot milk in the night before go to bed, or weird stuff. You comb your hair and you place the comb right away with the hair on it. Simple things. But when you get married, all these simple habits will create confusion if you don't understand that it is your habit. So we need to understand what are all our habits. Why? Because all the habits happen unconsciously. From the childhood, we do things in certain way and we doesn't even know that it matters. So knowing about your unconscious activity is going to solve so much of simple, stupid confusions. And also it gives so much of respect towards the life partner because you consider them, right? Many times this happen to newly marrieds when they share bathroom. The husbands normally don't lift the lid and urinate. Lifting the lid may not be a big deal when you use western commode, lifting the lid, but for a girl that matters. And this can be a natural thing. This is what I did for so many years. But definitely that's going to be a very big disappointment for your partner. So the small unconscious acts of us may look very simple and natural for you, but it can create confusion or disappointment, and to some extreme it can even go till disgust in your partner because of your unconscious act. Therefore, we need to be aware of our habits, because two people are from two different worlds. Their parents are different, their lifestyle is different, their culture is different. And when two people come together and suddenly start living, the 25-30 years of impact, their lifestyle definitely is going to have a clash. I'm not saying, you're having a war with your partner because of your stupid unconscious act. No. The purpose of this entire program is not to get you out of problem. This is not a program to have a normal life. No, not at all. Miles' purpose is life education. Neo Grihastha model is to make you more beautiful, make you to be the best couple around your place, so that the unmarried, by seeing you and your partner, should feel deep that one day I also will live life like you. You're getting me? So all these small things make big difference. When you make a small gesture of changing your habits consciously for your partner, makes big difference. So you need to be conscious, you need to be aware, you need to be always have that thought, watch out. Did I do anything? What? Why? When? Only when you have this alertness, when you have this commitment towards your action, then only you can find out what are all the habits which are not appropriate. Addictions. Once upon a time, addictions are of three types: drinks, cigarettes, drugs. But today we have different addictions. Not only gambling, there are more. Video games play a vital role. There are people, those who are addicted to video games even when they are parents. There are people, those who are addicted to shopping. There are people, those who are addicted to cell phones. Late night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, husband watch one cell phone and wife watch one cell phone, and both watch different series, and whole night goes like this. And you need to consider all these things also as addiction. And when you don't understand your addiction as addiction, you are in a bigger trouble. All types of addictions are unique in nature. You can't compare, smoking versus, eating more sugar or sweet, or usage of cell phone. Every addiction has a different nature in it and different impact in you. So you need to understand addiction is one big category under which there are different unique addictions are there. But all addictions have one commonality. What is that? When you get more addicted to anything in your life, you lose attraction in life. You don't see life more colorful. The real world won't look colorful. Masturbation is also an addiction. Don't think always the physical outside world is addiction. There are so many people, those who are married and still masturbate by watching porn. And when all these addictions enter into the head, it happens in such a way that their addiction looks very colorful and attractive and nothing else. So when the relatives come, they don't respect. When a call comes, they don't respond. When a partner speaks to you, you don't respond. When there is a problem in the house, you don't address. When there is a celebration, you don't celebrate. You just get into your addiction. So we need to understand this very, very, very clearly. Addiction is one of the very, very primary thing which a married person should eliminate. There are so many divorces happening because of addictions. The percentage is huge. I don't want to get into this data, but if you prefer, I would like to share it below this video. Just comment me if you are interested to know about the statistics behind addictions and marriage sustainability. Now, how to come out of addiction then? 2 solutions I am going to give you. These 2 solutions are of a unique Indian approach. I want you to clearly observe the 2. After listening to both the solutions, I want you to pick one. I don't want to just come to a conclusion which one you should choose. Don't choose both. Try one. And one, if that fails, then you go to the second one. The first approach of handling addiction is to wage a war against it. You literally face your addiction and fight it out. There are 4 stages. The first one is knowledge. First, you need to intellectually understand why this is an addiction and how this can impact your peace, how this can spoil your future. You need to get the basic understanding. You need to understand it. Not just everybody say wife doesn't like it, somebody scolds because of this, you spoiled a moment because of this. No, don't come to a conclusion. Analyze, understand how this addiction is going to disaster your life. Understand. The knowledge is what is required. The second one, once you understand that the addiction is very, very bad, then you can get into the second phase, that is awareness. You need to be consciously watch whenever the addiction enters into you. I don't mean to say that you need to stop it and solve it. That never happens. I have myself personally experienced different types of addictions, and I know it. That addictions are not as easy as we speak. Okay, now I understood. Therefore, hereafter I'm not going to enter into this addiction world. No, definitely it is not possible like that. So we need to have the awareness of how and when I enter into the addiction. There will be a pattern. You need to be aware to understand the algorithm of your addiction and the pattern in which phase, when, how long it enters into your daily things. What kind of thoughts are kindled behind the addiction. Third, try to avoid the addiction. And if you can avoid a moment successfully, if you can skip a possible addiction in one point of time, then you should give incentive to yourself. Hey, good, you did good. What? You can do this. You can watch a movie, or you can, eat one sweet. Some simple thing. You can play one more game if the addiction is something else and not video game. So likewise, you should give some incentive, a mental or physical incentive, so that incentive will be a motive. Don't think your addiction is not going to be just solved for that incentive, but slowly the mental networking will works in such a way that the incentive will give the dopamine effect, and because of which you get a kind of a different kind of a happiness, and instead of addiction you would like that happiness. So you are just confusing the network and you are changing the patterns. So continuously, when you try with the different incentives, whenever you can skip a possible moment of addiction, then it is going to improve further. It is going to be deeper and stronger further next time. You can easily do it. But if you don't do, what happens? Give a small punishment. Any punishment, a small punishment. You don't use social media for one day, or you don't eat your favorite food, or skip a meal. Do anything, or 100 push-ups. Anything is possible, but do something which needs effort. Don't do something which you normally do. You got it, right? So if I every day do 50 push-ups, then don't say 50 push-ups as a punishment. No, when you don't do any physical work, then you do 50 push-ups as a punishment, then it matters. Correct? Likewise, do something which needs effort from your side, which is not easy thing for you. Put something like that. One day you cook the entire meal. Whenever you skip your possibility of solving the addiction, when you enter into addiction mode again, then you get into one punishment. Likewise, when you work on the punishments and incentives and the consciousness and with the knowledge, when you try, you can slowly come out of the addiction. This is one method. of straight away waging war against your addiction. Now we are going to see the second option. The second option is U-turn. What is U-turn? Don't face the addiction at all. There are few people, those who like to face war. There are few people, those who want to solve war in their own way. And this is the second way. What? You don't address the problem at all. Then how can you solve the problem? It's simple. Let's say there is a glass of water and it is, it's salty or, it's dirty, and you want to make the glass of water pure, clean. A simple way is to not remove the salt out of that water, but just to pour clean water into the same cup of glass of water. So what happens when continuously you pour good water in it, in due course of time, the entire glass of water will become crystal clear. Simple, right? So if you have addiction in you and you want to come out of that addiction, then what you are supposed to do is you need to do the good activities or something which is not the addiction but which is worth it, and spend more time on that. You increase the time and increase the workload which is not addiction, so that when that part increases, when you are join a course or commit yourself to some regular activity or take some responsibility in your apartment or any extracurricular activities or teach some two kids, anything it can be. When you enter into different ways of activities, when you add more other good activities in you, then in due course of time you yourself will be surprised that I didn't do that addiction at all for more than 3 months. Nice. So this is a way where you unknowingly, without your knowledge, you address the problem and solve the problem. I can't say which type you are, but I'm sure you can say whether you would like to fight or whether you would like to, do action. So you decide, you choose any of these paths and come out of your addictions as early as possible. Addiction, right? It's a big thing, very big thing, very ugly thing too. Anyways, so hobbies, habits, and addictions, which may look very simple, but it has its own vital role to play in our family life. I hope you have understood this. We will go to the next dimension. For all these things, there will be activities and which will be explained later, so that you can follow up with activities and you can work on it and you can create a very clean list of things and you can understand yourself better. Let's do the third one. Now, before going to that, I would like to request you to comment below which part of these three dimension create a bulb on moment in you. When did you feel that, wow, yes, that is true? When did you feel that? Please comment below. We'll get back in the next video. Thank you.